All right, we turn the record over, and the first thing that hits us is Born to Run.
I can remember hearing it, because Mike Appel, the Bruce manager, had leaked this tape of the track to like various radio stations and stuff. And I didn't have a copy of it for a long time. And I can remember one day I was at Michael Oakes' house in Venice Beach. I heard it there amidst this big group of people, and just sort of like, for me, the entire rest of the room receded, and there was that record.
The production credits on this album go to Bruce Springsteen and John Landau and Mike Appel, except for Born to Run, which John doesn't get any credit on.
There's nothing unfair about that. What Born to Run was, as what they were sort of thinking of as a preliminary form, not really a demo, but, they had a take.
Mm-hmm.
But they felt that they could improve it because they thought it sounded too dense and muddy. They had recorded it at a studio up in Blauvelt, New York, which is in Westchester County, I think, called 914 Studio, which is owned by a famous engineer named Brooks Arthur, but it just wasn't a very good studio. You can hear things you shouldn't be able to hear. You can hear creaky pedals on the piano and stuff like that. Not so much on Born to Run because those drums are so loud. And, there's like 96 layers of guitar and everything.
Right.
But the thing was that every time they tried to remix it, it came out sounding less, not more, which doesn't surprise anybody who's ever been involved with a really tricky, complicated, dense piece of work like that. So I think the process was a lot that they had to figure out how to get Bruce to leave it alone and move on from it. I think Bruce saw it correctly as a major, major statement. They became very perfectionistic about it. And indeed, it is a major statement, and it does show signs of perfectionism. There's also the problem that at some point, Boone Carter commits some kind of serious rhythm error, or I don't know, maybe it's not Boone, maybe it's just a band. There is a breakdown in the beat at some point. But in order to correct that, either they had to do a new take, and, that's one of the greatest rock and roll bands of the world. I've heard them probably do the song 200 times live. I have never heard a version of Born to Run that is within miles of the record that we have, which is that take. But what I felt about that record the first few times I heard it was that I had heard it before, but not like recently before, not like yesterday or last month, but that I had heard it sometime in the 50s or the 60s. That's how that record felt to me. It felt like a really great record that I knew once and I'd forgotten. Do you know that feeling?
Yeah.
It's a crazy feeling because it's like this music had always been there. It's like a sculpture. The sculpture has always been in the piece of marble. The sculptor just took enough of the junk away so that you could see it. And this is like that. It's granite like that too. You can't take it apart part by part and worry that the mix is muddy and that the tempo breaks down at one point and this and that and the other thing. It just is what it is.